Back on Flashpoint with our special guest host for the Republican side, Labor Commissioner Melissa Houston, and Congressman Tom Cole, who's back after some spirited town hall meetings with his constituents. And we're talking a lot of things here. Right now, we're going to be talking about John McCain and his no vote.
Yeah, why not? In my life politically, we've talked a lot. We're all good friends. And we've learned a lot over our lifetimes. I learned you can never antagonize and persuade at the exact same moment. You can never antagonize and persuade at the exact same moment. I said it twice because I believe it. I think that's where Trump is losing a lot of these arguments. Okay, John McCain, during the campaign, he made fun of him. He said, you know, I like prisoners of war, or I like war heroes that never got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's something about I like those who don't get captured better. Or something like that.
Now, if I'm John McCain, I remember that for the rest of my life. Did that have anything to do with the no vote that you guys, that the president so critically needed?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And look, I'm a huge admirer of John McCain. You know, I spoke at his convention in 2008. I was running the Republican Congressional Campaign Committee, campaigned with him, for him. I think he's a great American, no doubt about it, and obviously in a terrible situation with his cancer.
Right.
And the mere fact he'd come back and participate tells you a lot about John McCain. But having said that, I think, number one, personally, it's a mistake to run on something and then fail to deliver at the decisive moment.
Did John McCain run on a repealing Obamacare?
Yes, he did. Every Republican basically has done that. And second, but I do think his dissent was more about protecting the traditions of the institution. He didn't like it not moving through committee in the normal way. He wanted to get to a body. He made that actually in the speech when he came back very dramatically. We need to get back to the United States Senate being the Senate. The problem with that is that's not how Obamacare was passed. I mean, we didn't follow regular order. Once they lost the 60th seat when Scott Brown won in Massachusetts, they wouldn't bring the bill back to the Senate. They just shoved it through the House where they had enough majority, and that wasn't supposed to work that way. So again, each side can probably point fingers at process here, but the reality is it was done in a very partisan manner when it was passed in 2010, and it could only be undone that way. I mean, Democrats are not invested in repealing and replacing. They now tell us they want to fix it, and we ask them, give us the fixes. So far, we haven't heard very much.
But you know the fixes. Everybody knows the fixes.
Oh, really?
Madam Commissioner,
Commissioner. Yes.
The wall and the shutdown of the federal government. We wanted to talk to Tom about that.
Yeah,
too.
we're super concerned, I guess, here at the state level to see if there is going to be a shutdown. I mean, do you think that's a legitimate threat that the president can pull off, or what do you think?
Look, I'm on record for many years. I think government shutdowns are big mistakes. I think they are political tactics that never work. Republicans tried them in the middle 1990s and got their clock cleaned by Bill Clinton. They tried it again in 2013, got their clock cleaned by Barack Obama. If they do it now, particularly when they control the presidency, the Senate, and the House, you're basically saying we're dysfunctional. We're a majority that can't run the government. You know, to me, it's the political equivalent of holding a gun to your head and telling your opponent, do what I say or I'll shoot. I mean, go right ahead. I think it's a big mistake. Now, do I agree with the president about a wall in the sense of border? I do. I mean, I think, and he's got a lot. He just got the largest increase in border security funding in a decade in the omnibus bill in May of 2017.
Who should pay for the wall?
Frankly, I think in the end we're going to pay for the wall.
We really are. You're telling the American people they're going to pay for Trump's wall.
Well, I think you end up paying for your own security. I wouldn't count on somebody else to put a burglar alarm in my house. I mean, you know, I think you have to do that. Well, look, I'm not going to speak for the president. I'm just speaking for myself. And I don't mind paying for border security for the United States of America. You know, that's our responsibility. We made a good down payment. There's another good down payment here. I'm afraid we'll all stumble into a debate over a mythical wall that really isn't in the appropriations bill. There's some additional fencing. We have hundreds of miles of barriers, and you decide, where does this make sense? There's more money for judges to speed up the processing of people that are caught. There's more money for electronic security, and we're having a lot of success. The president has actually achieved great. I mean, supposedly, we're told illegal crossings are down about 60% since he's become president. He's part of the wall himself, I guess, in a sense.
But can you tell him that?
Why doesn't he? Yeah, right.
He's already got it.
Why doesn't he talk about that more instead of just hanging onto the wall?
Instead of threatening you and Mitch McConnell.
Well, I don't feel threatened by the president, and I've generally been supportive of him. I don't think so. I think they have a good relationship. But at the end of the day, look, you know, who's ever telling him this is going to work? And he's got some folks in his cabinet that advised that were part of the shutdown 2013. Mick Mulvaney's a good friend of mine, but he was an architect of that, and he's the director of the Office of Management and Budget. I'm just telling you, it won't work.
Yeah.
So I want to achieve the objective, which is enhanced border security. This is not the way to get there. So let's find another way, because this is a winning issue. But don't, unless you overplay your hand.
But when the Republicans are controlling the House and controlling the Senate and controlling the presidency and have this level of dysfunction, I mean, we're having some similar issues at the state level. I mean, at what point does it start to hurt the party when we're not delivering?
And hold on, Tom.
That's a hard-hitting question.
Is the president at war with his own party, and how does that filter down to the state level? Like Melissa said, we're going to come back
tease?
with it. Is.
Look at that. I did a tease.
Melissa